Thank you very much for your time, Pooja. So what did the court say in dismissing the former president's appeal?
Effectively, the court said, after having considered the papers, that there was no prospect of success on appeal and that there were no compelling circumstances for the Supreme Court of Appeal to hear the matter. So they dismissed the leave to appeal with costs.
Has Mr. Hanekom welcomed this decision from the court?
Well, we've just heard, and we haven't yet had a chance to speak, but just off the top of some email correspondence, we have all welcomed the judgment. It is an extremely important judgment and vindicates Mr. Hanekom's right to his reputation.
You say it's an extremely important judgment. Please explain for us what that means.
Sure. You'll remember that the context of the tweet that was made by the former president was that Mr. Hanekom was a known enemy agent. So the matter turned on what the interpretation of these words means. Mr. Hanekom argued throughout that these words, in essence, the sting of the words means that he was an apartheid spy. The High Court upheld that interpretation and said that a reference to known enemy agent means that Mr. Hanekom was an apartheid-era spy, that the words were wholly defamatory and damaging of Mr. Hanekom's reputation. And with today's SCA ruling, that argument has been vindicated.
And you mentioned the KwaZulu-Natal High Court. It had ordered the former president to apologize for that tweet and interdicted him from publishing any further statements. Do you see an apology on the cards?
Well, Mr. Zuma will be obliged to apologize because that is part of the ruling. Of course, there might well be an appeal to the Constitutional Court. We will have to wait and see. But as things stand, Mr. Zuma will have 24 hours to publish the apology that was sanctioned in the Durban High Court.
If that does not happen, what then happens?
Well, he will technically be in breach of a court order, and we will certainly write correspondence to Mr. Zuma's attorneys pointing that out. It's very important that that apology be published without delay.
In terms of the level of engagement with his representatives, what has that been like, if at all?
We currently haven't engaged on the current SCA ruling. We have had some difficulty with his previous representatives in terms of serving and filing documents. I think that was widely documented in the media. We hope that we won't face similar difficulties in this matter going forward.
Thank you very much to Pooja Dela-Cron from Webber Wentzel.